If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option, as Sori says. $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them to buy our merch. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. This is Vin and Sori. We are hanging out, listening to some of the best music in the world for the big homie Ben. You can see on the scrolling ticker over here, that's actually a hallucination. There is no real thing over there. You're just... Anyway, we don't want to talk about that right now. Guys, this is Ben Bear's birthday. He's got nothing but bangers. It's been banger after banger after banger after banger, and this next song is no freaking different.
Machine Head is next. Imperium.
Machine Head Imperium is the name of the game. Shout out to Amy Lee forever. All right, guys, let's go. Machine Head Imperium is the name of the song. Let's do this shit. Not what I was expecting. What happened?
I don't know.
Power of the metal!
I feel it! Turn it up more!
Turn it up! I don't need eardrums, bitches!
Something from the start, living different rules. Existing, something to cherish through. Will not succumb to doubt that I hold on to. Release a fear of my pain. If someone's pain, give me the will to fight every obstacle that I have inside. I release my fear
Amazon account is up and running now. We are selling our formula officially. It's amazing stuff from Europe.
Made in Germany. Sold in America.
Highest standards there are. In America, the standards haven't been updated since 1980. It's super weird, like older than me. In Europe, they update safety standards basically every year. This formula is top notch, great for the stomach, great for constipation. This is a great product. If you happen to want to purchase it and join us on our journey, then grab the link in the description. If you do and leave a review for us, send me a screenshot at vinandsori@gmail.com of your review after you have received the product. We will put your name in a hat. Song reviews are going to come out by some of the people that have left reviews. Don't forget to send us a screenshot of your review once you get the product. Now a word from our mascot dressed as a pirate, Fuji.
It's a steal of a deal.
Let's freaking go, bro.
Really good one.
That was, I don't know. I feel like
It's
that's
been a
the song
while
of the
since
night.
I reached for the dials and twisted them up.
I feel like that's the song of the night. Maybe even the
I think
song of
so.
the week.
I think so. I think it would have to be.
All right, that was Imperium.
Did I put yours up too high? I like cranked yours to 3/4.
I love them, but on Metal Meltdown, I lost battling with them because apparently metalheads hate the singer. Stupid. Yeah, he's kind of a controversial figure for some reason. I'm not sure why, but yeah, I heard that about him too.
Wait, his vocal style or
No,
him as a person?
Him as a person, I've heard.
Oh,
people
really?
People don't like him or whatever. I don't know.
That's interesting.
He did say something about, like, he came out and was really up against Phil Anselmo's, like, the racist shit that Phil Anselmo was caught up in. He did kind of, like, call Phil out on that. And, you know, Phil is a beloved member in the metal community, so I don't know if that was it or what. But, yeah, he, people hate that boy.
That's interesting. Sometimes you don't know where it's coming from. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's a speculation. I don't know why they don't like him, but I don't know, man. Dude seems pretty talented to me.
Yeah, I wonder if he wrote these lyrics too.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he did.
Yeah,
sure he
because
did.
like the way that he ended it after you just said what you said, that people don't really like him.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I loved this one. Bearing down upon a path we choose, chosen from the start, living different rules. You know what's so interesting? I almost always never hear the first verse. I usually hear the chorus and then verse 2.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. Because almost every time I start reading verse 1, I'm like, what the fuck? And then I remember, I'm like, okay, that's right. I usually pick up on verse 2. Bearing down upon a path we choose, chosen from the start, living different rules. Existence, something to cherish true. Will not succumb to doubts that I hold on to. Release the fear of my pain. Okay, that's where I started seeing it. Release the fear of my pain. In so much pain, give me the will to fight. Wait, please tell me, did you find this preachy?
No.
Okay, good. I loved it so much. And usually when I really like something, you'll end up saying it's preachy. So I wasn't sure. So that part when he says, because we talked before about fear a little bit, like, and how that's like the opposite. So when he says, release the fear of my pain, it was like, you know, in your class, like basically like, not a karate class, but was it?
Taekwondo?
Whatever. Was it Taekwondo? The first one where they hit you in the face, like you had to get hit in the face. That was right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Was that Taekwondo?
Yeah.
Okay. Like that idea of like dispensing with the fear of pain. Like once you're not afraid of pain and you pass that point, then things are different. So he's saying, release the fear of my pain. In so much pain, give me the will to fight every obstacle that I have inside. And so at this point, I thought we were talking about somebody that's like kind of like fighting their own demons. But he's understanding that like he's afraid of the pain that it's going to cost him when he tries to fight that inner part of himself that really sucks. But he's at this point, I think, where he's like, he wants to release the fear of the pain and just embrace the pain, embrace the discomfort, embrace the everything to be able to move on. But when he said, give me the will to fight, to me, that sounded like a prayer, for sure. Every obstacle that I have inside. And then he says, release my fear. And then he goes, and hear me now, words I vow, no fucking regrets. That part was crazy to me because,
Why?
well, so, I've always talked, and I've said it a bunch of times on this channel, like how I felt about the concept of regrets and like having, as a teenager, writing no regrets on my wall and like wanting to live my life, like always to make sure that I wouldn't have any regrets in the future. But what I ended up doing was living a life that was very fearful because I would have to like be like, okay, what could go wrong? And then try to try to prevent that eventuality from happening. So you're living in a really fearful way. And shoot, go ahead. You just go, because I gotta collect my thoughts a little bit more. Go ahead.
Well, he's talking about no regrets. Fuck these.
Oh yeah. But when I was listening to the song, I when he said no fucking regrets, because the other day I was thinking about how many like regrets I actually do have, and that was like, it was like such an overwhelming feeling to be like, oh my gosh, like I regret. And a lot of it is like the ways that I treated people in different situations. Like sometimes, like I think if you can just be honest with yourself and not try to hide behind anything, like just really looking, it's like, wow, like ugh. And so like I had that moment, but then when the song came up, and it said no fucking regrets, like literally when that came up, I thought to myself, ugh, I wish that I could say no fucking regrets. And as soon as I said that, I thought of this verse where like God is working all things for your good. So like in the end, we're going to look back, and I just felt like God in that moment said like, you're going to look back and say no fucking regrets, because he works everything. So even the stuff that looks like, I mean, nobody wants to look back and be like, oh, I did this and this horrible thing. Like, but in the end, like God's going to make lemonade out of those lemons. Like God has a plan in it, better than lemonade out of lemons. But so that was like a crazy part, like even to just have like that moment when the song was happening. And it was such an empowering song too. It was like rising, but it was also like hard. So it made it feel like we're going up, but it's a climb. It's not, it's not so he says, fuck these chains. No goddamn slave. I will be different. And again, at this point, I thought we were talking about like, I thought he was saying like he was going to be different from the person that he is internally. Like you keep making the same decisions over and over and over, or you react the same way every single time a situation happens. Well, we have to learn to get in front of our situations and not react to everything all the time. And when he says, I'm going to be different, I thought he was saying like, okay, if every time this certain thing happens to me, I get angry and I whatever, kill a cat, I'm not gonna do that anymore. Like when I get angry, I'm gonna recognize
kill
that I'm
the
angry.
cat. Most of the time, it's like, kick the dog. SubhanAllah.
I know, but it felt a little bit more metal to
this
say.
This metal shit is starting to really influence your way of thinking.
Oh my gosh. But anyway, yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like the whole, all my life I felt alone, conditioned to believe that I'm always wrong. Only truth will help set me free.
I do have to say, sorry, I
must turn into strength.
I changed the word prejudice, because I said I changed it to injustice, because I was just thinking about like all the to me injustice and like love and stuff are such a big factor in what's going to actually be the change, the massive change in the world, because you have to have love to be able to forgive somebody for wronging you, so that way like stuff can change, or to be able to like that you talked about it, that a soft answer turns away wrath. Yeah. And like that's like the theme for the year. I have not forgotten. That's like a daily thing for me.
You should remind me of that. You should remind me that's the theme of the year. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, I should have.
Because every time you remind me of it, it like kind of writes out. I'm like, oh, that's right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it's that whole line, the truth will set you free.
Yeah.
And that's fascinating. That's one of those lines where that came from Jesus. And it seems to be one of those lines that really resonates with the world, particularly the Western world. This concept that truth will set you free. That line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but the context of that passage was Jesus trying to convince people that they were bad. He said, "We're Abraham's seed. We've never been slaves of anyone."
Wow, boy,
and he said, everyone who sins is a slave to sin.
Yeah.
So he's like, you guys think that you're free people because of your genetics.
Yeah, it's not. What
everybody who sins is a slave to sin, but whoever the Son sets free is free indeed.
Free indeed.
And you shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free.
Or make you free. I don't know why they used to say that.
So if you think about it, like that's the context. The context is, you guys, the ultimate slavery is not slavery that outsiders put on you. It's a slavery that's inside of you. It's your own self, and your predilections, your addictions, your constant, mental loops of self-destruction,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
your own actions, those enslave you. That's the real slavery. Like you can't, there's, Muhammad tried, like they entered into Mecca. And the guy's like, yeah, like we jihad, we accomplished it. And Muhammad said, he said, you also have jihad al-nafs, which is the war against the self.
Oh, right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, so that's the real thing. And like, obviously as a Christian, I'm like, yep, that's it. That's right there. And now, we're free. But then you have to ask yourself, well, how do you define freedom? Is freedom, like, that's a really, think about that question.
It's peace and it's joy. If I can get peace and joy, then I feel I'm free.
Okay, so are you free if
Oh,
you're...
shoot, no, because I could be a heroin addict.
Right? Like, in
Oh,
the highest moment of ecstasy
Yeah.
on heroin,
Yeah.
then if you define freedom that way, then you're free.
Okay, well then, long term, the consequences for my actions are also joyous, and that boom, I got it there.
The consequences.
The consequences of
so
your
if you're
actions.
a serial killer and you get joy from killing people, are you free?
Oh no, shoot. Okay, well, what is?
As a matter of fact, that's a form of slavery. Actually, is a thing is being trapped in a thing that brings you the most happiness that you want to stop doing. Like a sex addict.
That's
or
true. Yeah,
like,
that's you hear people.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so the concept of freedom is not this simple idea that people think it is. Like,
I guess
Americans talk freedom.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What does it mean?
We can do what we want.
Like you
basically, is
have,
what they think.
we just had a discussion, and like, there's a certain guy in a certain country. He's like this horrible, terrible person. Blah blah blah. And it's like, so are we free as Americans? Like, the government takes your money, spends it all places that you don't agree with. Are you free? Like,
right. Exactly.
like if you're completely beholden to insurance companies and things like that, so that you can't live healthy, are you actually free? So what does it mean to be free? Like, that's a very, and obviously for as a Christian, I would say that freedom is the living as close as you possibly can to the way that God designed you to live. In other words, a bird is only truly free when they're flying. A dolphin is only truly free when it's swimming, because that's what it was created to do. So I am created to love God, love my neighbor, and exercise dominion over the planet, to rule the world next to my brothers and sisters. So all of us are equal. So the reason that slavery is bad is because all of us are kings and queens.
Yeah.
That's why slavery is bad. Like, I have a objective, grounded understanding for why slavery is bad and freedom is good, and I also have definitions for what that means. That doesn't mean I'm right. It just means that when you develop your worldview, we throw out these phrases, freedom, love, blah, blah, blah. We don't have any definitions for what they mean. And they just become like these subjective little ideas. And so you have a heroin addict talking about freedom. Trust me, that subculture, their definition of freedom is the diametric opposite of yours. You look at the heroin addict as a slave.
Yeah, for sure.
The heroin addict looks at you as a slave. Because the heroin addict is saying, because your society,
that you can't have
right, because your society is against whatever,
they do,
you guys are slaves. We're experiencing the tip of ecstasy, blah 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 blah. But we're looking at them like, you're in the gutter. You've lost your entire family.
Yeah, holy shit.
So it's not that simple. As just as most Americans at the ground level define freedom as the ability to do whatever you want. That's how they define freedom, right? Yeah. But then when you ask them, okay, so can I kill people? Well, no, because now you're imposing your... So it's like, okay, so define it.
Yeah, because people always want to be like, well, within reason.
Yeah, define it then, right? So, like, that's really, really, really important. And I think, if you look at the story of the human family, you can see that a lot of the wars that we've fought and things like that are based on the concept of freedom. Like, our founding fathers fought the British for freedom, and then would go home to their slaves and not see the contradiction.
Right.
Not see the contradiction.
See it.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you have people like in this country who talk about freedom and rights, but then there's a whole class of people that they deny the most fundamental right to, which is the right to live.
See,
you got liberals that call themselves liberal, which is liberal liberty.
Liberty, yeah.
So a liberal is a freedomist.
Yeah.
But they're the ones most likely to deny an entire category of human beings the fundamental right from which all other rights spring.
Yeah.
You don't have the right to free speech or free assembly or any of that if
Nothing.
they don't let you live.
Right.
So you have people that are, and then the irony is they call themselves pro-choice. So like, this is what I'm saying. Like, the world has a twisted understanding of what freedom is. That's not freedom.
No, not at all.
So, like, to me, like, freedom is one of those concepts that you have to have theology for. There's no way from a secular perspective to... It's just impossible. There's no way from a secular perspective to ground freedom in any reasonable way that's going to work for everybody. Somebody's always going to be on the losing end of that from a secular perspective, because at the end of the day, human beings we're a massively selfish people.
Right.
Right? So I just had a conversation with a person. He said, hey, I can do this, but a Russian couldn't do this. Therefore, America is not as oppressive as Russia. It's like, okay, go tell the kids in Afghanistan and Iraq that we're better than the Russians.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But as long as I can post something and get away, that means that I'm free. Okay. We're not free in America. Most of us don't believe in killing innocent people. Most of us don't believe in bombing the shit out of people and doing all that. Most of us would recoil if we saw the aftermath of a drone strike over a school.
I also think
free.
that we would recoil at what the gains were from what we did and who got those gains.
Sadakt.
So I don't think that any of us regular people would be okay with any of it. But I think that's why it's always kind of wrapped in a shroud. We never really you know what I mean? It's
freedom in America is what we collectively agree it is. I agree. That is true. And it didn't work out for my folks for a couple hundred years over there in the South, because they collectively agreed that freedom was the ability to own other people. So this is what I'm saying, like, about secularism. Secularism cannot get you a just society. It's impossible.
right.
Unless secularism draws from Christianity, which secular humanism is basically Christianity without Jesus. It's the same moral framework.
Yeah, because you keep backing it up, and then you ask, but it has to get back to something else, but it's not there because it's not Christianity.
Freedom also means to be free from one's passion. That is how freedom was classically understood. Modern libertarians simply think of freedom as non-intervention. Yeah, exactly. I have a very sneaking suspicion about this individual here, DJ H. DJ H, do I have your phone number? I believe I do.
Have you ever been doxxed?
Yeah, I think L is correct. I think my Mima always said freedom is a state of mind. Yeah, that's what Jesus was going for, which is why he said truth will set you free. Then you have the question, well, what is truth?
Right.
So we had a hard time defining what freedom was, because that's not a simple thing. Okay, then what is truth? And how does truth relate to freedom? Like, we throw these phrases out there.
Right.
These
but
are,
how much do we
these
think
are
about?
massive, massive, massive phrases. You do, but I won't tell you who I am. If you know, you know. Yeah, I know. You know, there are certain perks to being me.
Oh, is that who that is?
Shut the fuck up. What's wrong with you?
Go ahead.
Later, Connie. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I mean that's an interesting thing. What is truth? Mm-hmm. Right? Veritas. Quid est veritas. This is a song of the week for me. I really like the song. It was heavy.
Yeah.
It was very, very philosophical.
Loved it.
Freedom to me is ordering pulp-free orange juice. This is a 10 for me, Ben. It's a 10. This is a song of the week.
Oh, pulp free. Yeah, you like pulp free also. Not me. I'm like, load in the pulp. Sometimes
Disgusting.
I buy it with the pulp.
Pulp is disgusting.
And I just hide it from
If you read your Bible, you will never see a single verse in which God ever authorized.
Although, if I'm drinking it and I think one thought.
Pulp. Disgusting.
The cup, I got to get rid of it.
Wait,
it grosses me
what?
out.
If you think about what you're doing as you're drinking the pulp?
No. Nope. I'll tell you offline. If I think about a certain thing when I'm drinking it, it's over. And then I'm like, yeah, Vin was right. This is a sin. I'm going to drink pulp free from now on.
Why does Vin have to act like the most subs monster ever with some of his comments? Well, I was trying to keep the identity of my friend's secret, but then this one just went and just...
How does that? That doesn't let anything out.
Oh, God. Disgusting. All right, this is a 10. Rate the
Disgusting.
song.
I gave it a 10.
Oh,
Guys,
it's a 10.
is
You got
10.
a 20 under your
It's
birthday
a
thing
10.
on the gang shit. Let's go. All right.
Happy birthday.
Do we have any more songs?
Yeah, we do. We have one more.
Oh no, we only have one more. All right, one more song left. There's a band. It's a band named Cirrhosis.
Name Cytosis.
Not cirrhosis like cirrhosis of the liver, but cirrhosis. I can't drink OJ without pulp. Oh my goodness. Time for a short talk after this. Probably, inshallah.
Yeah, it might work out.
It might work out this time, inshallah. All right, here we go. Commercial.